Everyone, welcome to My Shai's YouTube channel and to the series of CSAT Quantitative Aptitude topic wise previous year question series. So, we have done previously questions on averages in 2 episodes, and we have started number system in the 3rd episode, and we have continued it in 4th episode, and we are continuing in the 5th episode as well. So, we'll be completing the number system today, and we'll be starting another chapter in the next class. Okay, let's start the video. Question number 1. If x is between -3 and -1 and y is between -1 and 1, x square minus y square is in between which of the following? So this is the question. They gave the data as x lies between -3 and -1, y lies between -1 and 1. They're asking between which numbers x square and minus y square lies. So here x square and minus y square will be maximum when x square value is maximum. So x square value will be maximum when x will be obviously -3. So we need to substitute for the maximum number. -3 square is 9. So from the 9, if we subtract y square, it should be the minimum number so that we should get the maximum number. So y minimum number is, if y lies between -1 and 1, y can also be 0. So if we substitute 0 in the place of y, so 9 minus y square, that is 9 minus 0 is 9. So 9 can be the maximum number. Okay, 9 can be the maximum number. So let's see which is the minimum possible number which can be kept in x square minus y square. So x square minus y square, in order to be minimum, so value of x should be maximum and value of y should be value of x should be minimum, value of y should be maximum. Value of y which is maximum is 1. So y square is maximum when it is 1. -1 square is 1, minus 1 square is also 1. So maximum value of y square is 1. The minimum value of x square is -1 square. Okay, -1 square, that is 1. So x square minus y square is 1 minus 1, that is 0. So 0 can be the minimum number. So x square and y square lies between 0 and 9. So option D is correct for the question number 1. Question number 2. X minus y equal to 8, then which of the following must be true? So they gave that x minus y is equal to 8, and they gave some statements. They are asking which of the following should be true. Okay, statement number 1. Both x and y must be positive for any value of x and y. They are saying it must be positive. See, sometimes it can be negative also. For example, 9 minus 1 is 8. So in this case both are positive, but there are some cases in which it can be negative also. 7 minus y value -1, then also it is 8. So negative values are also possible. So statement 1 is wrong. Coming to statement number 2, if x is positive, y must be negative for any value of x and y. So we have seen x minus y as 8. So they are saying x is positive, y must be negative. Just now we have saw that 9 minus 1 is equal to 8. So in this case both are positive. It is nothing like y must be negative. So statement number 2 is also wrong. In the statement number 3, if x is negative, y must be positive for any value of x and y. So if x is negative, for example, if we are taking -7, so in this if we are taking -1, 1 which is a positive number, minus 7 minus 1 is -8. So if we keep negative number in the place of x, the resultant value will always be negative. So statement number 3 is also wrong. So neither 1, not 2 and not 3 is correct for the question number 2. That is option D is correct. Question number 3. Certain 3-digit numbers follow the characteristics. So there are certain 3-digit numbers that follows the characteristics. Okay, let the 3-digit number be XYZ. Okay, the number is divisible by 7. The number on reversing the digits is also divisible by 7. So I have told you that in the last class I have told you XYZ as a number can be written as 100x, 10y, plus z, okay, is equal to 7a. Let's think it is divisible by 7 into a, okay. If it is reversed, z by x, so z by x can be written as 100z plus 10y plus x. This is also divisible by 7, though, so it is 7b. So let's subtract the numbers. 100x minus x is 99x, 10y gets cancelled, and minus 99z equal to 7 into a minus b, okay. This is the resultant equation. So let's write the resultant equation, that is 99x, let me write once again, 99 into x minus z equal to 7 into a minus b. In this particular equation, if you carefully observe, 7 doesn't divide 99. So 99 is not equal to 7. So x minus z can be equal to 7. So x minus z can be equal to 7. So let's see how many values are possible if x minus z equal to 7. Okay, let me write once again. X minus z equal to 7. So if we substitute the values, 9 minus 2 is 7. 8 minus 6 is 8 minus 1 equal to 7. Okay. So here two numbers are possible. While reversing it, other two numbers are possible. So option is B, that is 4 numbers are possible. Question number 4. How many numbers are there between 99 and 1000 such that the digit 8 occupies the unit? So let's see how many numbers are there between 99 and 1000 in which 8 occupies the unit place. Let's see. Initially 100 to 999. So from 100 to 199, 100 to 199, it is occupied by 108, okay, 118, 128, 138, 148, 158, 168, 178, 188 and 198. So from 100 to 199 there are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers, okay. In the similar way, for 100 numbers if it is 10, for 100 numbers if it is 10, for 900 numbers it should be 90, okay. From 101 to 999 there are 900 numbers. In 900 numbers there are 10 for each 100, so 10 into 9 is 90. So option is C for this question. Number 4, that is option C is correct. Question number 5. A 2-digit numbers is reversed. The lemma of the two numbers is divided by its smaller one. What is the largest possible remainder? For example, if we take two-digit number as x by y, xy, so they are asking the largest possible remainder. So if we take xy as the largest number, x should be in such a way that the remainder should be highest. So let's take x value as 9, okay. So the minimum can be 1. It is 91 minus 19. The remainder is 19. So 91 divided by 19. Remainder will be 15. Okay. 91 divided by 19. The remainder will be 15. Coming to the second case, 92 divided by 29. The remainder will be 5. Okay. 93 divided by 39, remainder will be 39 okay, remainder is 15 in this case. If you take another value, that is 94 minus divided by 49, the remainder in this case will be 45, okay. If you take another case, 95 minus 50 divided by 59, the remainder in this case will be 36. Again the remainder is decreasing after 45, so 45 should be the maximum remainder in this case. So option D is correct for the question number 5. Okay, let's come to the question number 6. There are certain 2-digit numbers. The difference between the number and the one obtained by reversing it is always 27. So let's take number as xy and yx. So if we write xy and yx in this form, it will become 10x plus y minus 10y minus x. The difference is nothing but they gave us 27. So x minus y into 9 is equal to 27. So x minus y should be 3. So how many such cases are possible? So if x is 4, y can be 1. That is one case. If x is 5, y can be 2. That is another case. If x is 6, y can be 3. That is another case. If x is 7, y can be 4. That is fourth case. If x is 8, y can be 5. It is fifth case. If x is 9, y can be 6. So it is sixth case. 6 times it is possible. 6 numbers are possible in the place of x and y, which is not there in the option. So none of the above is the option for this question. Okay. Question number 7. What is the total number of digits printed if a book containing 150 pages is to be numbered from 1 to 150? They are saying total number of digits printed. So if you take 1 to 9 pages, 9 digits are 9 numbers are there. So 9 numbers should be printed. 10 to 99, there are 90 numbers into there are 2 digits. So the resultant is 180 numbers. From 100 to 150, there are 51 numbers. So 51 into 3 digit numbers, that is 153. So the resultant is 180 plus 9 plus 153, that is 342. Okay, 342 numbers are to be printed. So 342, option B is correct. Question number 8. There are 13 two-digit consecutive odd numbers. If 39 is the mean of first 5 such numbers, and what is the mean of the 13 numbers? So if you take the mean of the odd numbers, mean is equal to number of numbers plus 1 by 2. That is, there are 5 digits, 5 plus 1 by 2. So third number can be the mean. So if you write the third number as mean, okay, third number as mean, let me write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this number is mean, that is 39. So before 39, what is the odd number? 37. Before 37, it is 35. Here it is 41 and 43. If you see, they are asking the mean for the 13 numbers. So mean for the 13 number is 13 plus 1 by 2, that is in the 7th place. Okay, if it is in the 7th place, 43 is in the 5th place, 45 is in the 6th place, and 47 will be the 7th place. So this is the mean of the first 13 numbers. So 47 is the answer for this question. That is option A. Question number 9. If R and S are different integers, both divisible by 5, then which of the following is necessarily true? Let us take some considerations. Let's consider the numbers as 5 and 10. Okay. Let us check in the options. R minus S. So 10 minus 5 is divisible by 5. Yes, this is true. Let me check for another numbers. 15 minus 10. That is 5 by 5. It is true. So option A can be correct. R plus S is divisible by 10. If we take 10 plus 5, it is not divisible by 10. So option B is not necessarily true. So 9th can be option B. But let us check the other options too. R into S, that is 10 into 5, 50 is divisible by 5. And let us take another numbers. 10 and 20. So 10 into 20 is 200. It is also divisible by 25. So option 3 is also always correct. If you check for the R square plus 5 square also, it will be correct. So option B is wrong for this question. So option B is correct for this question. So they are asking the incorrect one. So 9th is B. So last question for the day. How many numbers are there between 100 and 300? Which either begin with or end with 2. So they are asking from 100 to 300 which begin with 2 or end with 2. So let's take beginning with 2. So if we take beginning with 2, it will be from 200 to 201 till 299. Okay, till 299. There are 100 numbers which can be possible. So here 100. Okay. Coming to ending with 2, it can be 102, 112, 122, 132, 142, 152, 162, 172, 182, 192. I will not take from 202 because it is already counted in this particular series. So here there are 10 numbers and here it is 100 numbers. So total numbers are 110. So option A is correct for this question. So option A, that is 110, is correct for question number 10. So that is it for today's video and we are done with number system. I hope so you enjoyed the series. So let's meet with another chapter in the next class. Until then, take care. Bye bye, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and give your comment in the feedback in the comment section. Okay, bye bye.